ever notice when you ask for help, whether it's through, getting parental help for behavioral stuff for your kids through ABA or regional center, um, or, just more avenues, all you get is more emails with a million links and more parent training and more things that you pretty much have to do on your own, more extra work. Um, I don't know. When I first had my son and he was diagnosed by the time he was 2 years old, back in 2017-ish or so, I just had more energy to do this. I was full in. I was a stay-at-home parent. I spent all my time making his appointments, checking him out, making him, taking him to doctor's appointments, taking him to get assessed through Kaiser, and the ABA started, and getting the regional center stuff started. And I just feel like now I have nothing left. And now my daughter, she's acting out so much. I know she probably just wants to be in a swimming pool or have fun right now, and we don't have a swimming pool, and I'm exhausted. But she's naked in my kitchen, and she's getting up on a chair to take her water bottle to get cold water from the fridge, from the water dispenser. And instead of drinking it, she's spilling it everywhere, and she wants to turn our kitchen into a pool. And I feel like I'm a terrible parent because I just don't have the energy that I used to have to be like, okay, let's take you to a pool, or okay, let's go get some water balloons. You know what? I might be able to do the water balloons. I might be able to buck myself up and do water balloons. I have to put her in some clothes though, because she literally loves being naked all the time at home. And my poor son was like in the kitchen. He's like, just stop flinging water at me. And um, I just, I don't know. I've been saying it for a couple years now, that I just feel like we always need like an assistant person just living with us who's experienced with ADHD and autism and can help us with all these things, because I can't anymore. And now I get it, why it's hard to like be an older mom with younger kids. It's just, it's not always an age thing. Sometimes it's just a health thing, but apparently for me it's both. Um, I didn't know I had ADHD before I had the kids. I knew I had chronic issues. I just thought it was like my hormones and like some weird period stuff or PMDD, but I never knew that it was attached to ADHD and possible autism. But now having two kids who are both, um, well, my son definitely has both autism and ADHD, and my daughter has autism and she's going to get assessed for ADHD. And I was always a sensitive kid. I always had issues with regulating emotion. I always felt like that sensitivity to rejection and so on and so forth. I just recently saw a post about POTS and how some people might be getting POTS after having COVID. So I don't even know if I had some sort of new illness kick in after having COVID 2 years ago. Um, at this point, I'm just going to deal with the adrenals and testosterone and stuff, slowly detox and see what happens. But I feel like I'm becoming a hypochondriac, because I'm like, oh, what about my thyroid? What about the histamine? What about the mast cells? What about the POTS? What about EDSD and all this stuff? And I just feel like when a lot of women have invisible illnesses, like, I remember millions of years ago, back in like the early aughts, 08 or 09, I was asking my doctor to check for fibromyalgia. Um, and what's funny is I did the 23andMe test, and some of the things that my genetics was kind of prone for was fibromyalgia, lupus, Hashimoto's, I think, bipolar disorder, among probably a few other things. So that's fun. Um, I'll always wonder to this day if my mother had those other things. Definitely wonder about bipolarism. Um, she did have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and she had heart problems and open heart surgery when I was a young kid. And maybe her muscle or heart was too big. I'm not sure which one it was. But But she would also like have these spells where it seemed like she was faint and blue in the lips. And we lived close to a firehouse. The firefighters would come over and give her oxygen. I've always wondered about blood circulation and just getting enough oxygen in my own body. I look back now and wonder if both my parents may have been ADHD, if not autistic. I mean, I knew that there was some autism that came from my husband's side of the family because he has a cousin who's autistic. But now the ADHD seems like it might be coming from my side. And that's very interesting to like finally see it now, even though it was kind of something that was on the periphery years ago, after my father passed away last summer. It's a year of discovery, I guess. So yeah, I just know my mom was like always weak, laying on the couch, low energy. Wanted my dad to rub her feet and her arms and stuff a lot, sleeping a lot. And those things are things that I definitely have issues with. In regards to heart stuff, I do have like a genetic connection to what my mom had, but I don't know if I technically have it. I wore a monitor last couple months ago. You saw that. And I still, honestly, I'm unclear as to what to do next with Kaiser. Like the cardio, I told them about POTS and stuff. They don't say anything. It's constantly like, let's just do the bare minimum and check this, and then we won't really talk about the things you're asking about. Fun. Anyway, what else is there to say? I'm hiding from my children. I don't know what they're doing in my living room. It's really hard to deal with chronic illness and trying to figure out your stuff when you have 2 kids under 10 and you just don't know how to deal with them anymore. Anyway. So here I am, not really exercising, trying to get my energy back and my strength. And taking these kids to their summer camps and coming back and staring at a wall before I realize, oh, look, there goes the whole day, gone. It's been hard to just be present and joyful. Although I did enjoy the show Shrinking on Apple TV recently. It's a really nice show and it helped me feel better about myself. Enjoyed a decent meal. I guess it's just harder to enjoy bigger things because we don't get to do as many bigger things as parents. Anyway. Anyway, my house is a hot mess. I lost the will to care. I just need to get myself back.